Act 2, Starlight Sonata. 13. Come hell or high water. 17th of the astral moon. Ah. Hello. Good evening, innkeeper. Good evening, Race. Could I ask you for a drink? Anytime. What can I get for you? I'm pretty spent. Do you have something that will keep my mind awake for a little longer? I should have something that can do that. One moment. The official or silent owl. Be a silent owl. More. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. No. Oh, I did too much. There you go. A drink for the mind and soul. Enjoy. Thank you. This is just what I needed. Why are you still so tired? I thought you were done with your thesis. I am, which also means I need to figure out what to do next. The possibilities are endless, but not boundless, so considerations are a complicated endeavor. Have you considered a break? I have. Say, innkeeper, if you had forever, what would you do with it? I've never thought about it before. I like being an innkeeper, so I could just keep doing this forever. It's relaxing and safe, and I get to meet the most wonderful people and wizards all day. Forever is a really long time. Isn't there anything else you would like to do? Go on a road trip, learn to play the harp. Content with maybe a road trip. Really? Where to? Anywhere, really. See the world, the forest, the seas. Stop by each of the 5 interplanar portals and see what all the hype is about. Would you go through? I'm not sure. I was thinking more about having a picnic and a conversation nearby. Maybe a nap. I could rate them by which fruits grow around them. Now you're making me curious. Will you send me your studies? You'll be the first to know. What would you do with immortality? I would learn everything there is to learn. Every portal, every language, instrument, skill, and facet of mortal existence. I would travel the plains with my brother and learn even more, have an infinite amount of tea parties. I'd come to those. When we were little, X would always make all the stuffed animals dance around our little tea table. We didn't have money for music boxes, so he just made up the songs for them to dance to. He sang them to me. If I had time, I would love to write down all those songs and invented dances for them. You should make time for that. It's your time, after all. And besides, while you don't have forever, you do have quite a lot. An elven lifespan is nothing to scoff at, even if you only get half. Not if you got the human side of a lifespan. Oh, that's less time. It is, but I'll make the most of it. What will you do next then? I'm not sure yet. I was thinking about going to Ashfordel, the capital of Magocracy. I heard the libraries there are 60 stories tall, and rivers float through the sky in an exuberant display of mana. Sounds like paradise for someone like you. Yes, but Pax really wants me to stay here. He likes Fazoa, Zenith, and the Ashen Grove. I think he likes how quiet it is, if you would believe it. I don't think he likes the bustle of it all. You could just go with him. There's a Megacratian embassy in Zoford. Their teleportation is expensive but reliable. I don't think he wants to go to Zoford either, and I won't make him. He could teleport himself there. He really shouldn't. It's quite a long distance, and he's always been awful at teleportation. He could take a ship. I appreciate the effort, but I don't think a ship would help him make the distance acceptable to him. He's always going to follow me no matter where I go. I think he doesn't want to miss out on any adventures or celebrations. Or funerals. You could just tell him you want to go alone. But then he'd be alone too. Just talk to him, Grace. I don't want to spend our time together fighting. I just don't want him to spend it mourning either. You should tell him that. He'll have enough time to mourn you when you're gone. Unlike life, that never ends. I suppose you're right. I'd like to leave something he can remember me by. Maybe I'll build my own wizard tower. Please do, I love those. Did you hear about the one on Morelin near Delwell? The one with the infamous Megocratian fugitive? The very same. It seems that its wizard has disappeared without a trace, leaving his tower vacant. I've always wanted to stop by for tea, but I don't want to be rude and intrusive, so I haven't. I wonder what he left behind. I'm sure it's a collection of fascinating impossibilities. Couldn't you just teleport in to check? You can't exactly teleport in and out of well-protected places all willy-nilly. You might end up trapped or on a whole nother plane. You might. Maybe that's what happened to the wizard. Maybe. No one seems to know what happened to him, or who he even was. And no one seemed interested in finding out either. Isn't that sad? A little. I don't want to disappear like that. You won't. I'll tell your story for as long as I'm around. How long is that? For as long as this world will bear me. You're very easy to bear. Thank you, Grace. Would you like to stay a while? Please. I find your inn truly inspiring. I'll be here if you need a rubber duck. I'm counting on it. Hiya, innkeeper. Hi, you two. A drink, please. Or two, actually. Sure thing. Actually, what name are we right now? Well, Aura is still fine. Come on, that was a whole week ago. Yeah, you get different names every 3 days. I was busy. Wanna come up with a new one now then? Can I come up with one? Sure. How about Kumo? I feel like you look like a Kumo. It fits. He is just as stealthy as a spider. Just as soft as a cloud. Stealthy, yeah. And just as cute. I'll take your word for it. Our drinks. Can we get them now? Of course. What would you like? Something sweet, bubbly maybe. If you can find something like that. You know? Sure, I'll see if I can find the words you're looking for. You want your normal spoken tongue thing? Broken heart. What is that? Here you go. Here you go, Kumo. Liquid charisma for those in need. Maybe you should try it then. Do you want to send it back? No. It's good. Glad to hear that. Fable, what can I get for you? Maybe something that will make me feel like I could lift 1,000 clouds. Like, I've got the strength of a dragon, or something like that. Carolyn always says it's pretty tasty. I see. Carolyn special then. the sailor's courage, right? Yeah. Bit of a dragon. Did I put the dragon in there then? Oh, wait, that's... Sailor's courage, there. A regular's favorite for another regular. Thank you. It's delicious as usual. That's what I like to hear. I like the new hair, but oh yeah, she does have a braid. That's new. Oh, you do? Thank you. It looks really nice, right? Kumo braided it for me. He helped me calm down after we encountered the Mary Morgan. But I should probably start at the beginning, right? I'd appreciate that. Alright, so what happened at the beginning? The ship to Boreas. Right. I was a bit worried about the journey we were embarking on. After all, the seas around Boreas are famously hard to traverse, with all the magic around it and all. But just before we left Zenith, we ran into Una in the midst of an arm wrestling match against Iniko. We took the opportunity to ask for her advice. Though maybe she had traveled there before. You could have asked me also. She was closer. Right. Did she have any good advice? She did. With her help, we were able to avoid all of the dangerous maelstorms, sea strikes, and iceberg elementals. That must have made for a relaxing journey. It did. It was very inspiring too. We were able to see the dancing, colorful auroras in the night sky as we drew closer. They were starless, but still breathtakingly gorgeous. I even started a new song. It wasn't ready to be shared yet, though. I just wanted a sneak peek. Well, you should have stuck better. A new song, can I hear it? It's not done yet. Thanks to Una, we made it to Boreas a lot faster than we'd planned. We also docked far away from the typical explorer's route. It was completely abandoned by everything but nature, as if no one but us had ever been there before. Kind of exciting. Very adventurous for sure. As we headed inland, we were quickly swallowed by the fog that engulfs most of the entire island. It moved in strange patterns, creating unidentified forms within the mist that hungered for life. The thickets rustled as we walked by, whether moved by wind or creatures. We couldn't tell. The trees were shaped strangely, with shimmering portals forming in their empty husks. Our own quiet breaths were often interrupted by shrill, shrieking sounds that seemed to come from right above us. It was almost idyllic. Or scary. It was mostly scary. I wouldn't have minded strolling around until we ran into something roaming the island, but it was a little cold, so... I found a local to ask for directions. While wandering around, we came across a clearing surrounded by tall trees, or rather, one tree. All of them were connected, intertwined with one another. Through one of their twisted connections, a waterfall, with no discernible origin, was flowing into a small pond, and in its midst rested a nymph, a real nymph, doing taxes. She was weaving flower crowns for the fish. Okay, that's unusual, but sure. She was beautiful, with long black hair and skin that glistened in the sunlight, being reflected off the waterfall. Her eyes were like sparkling gemstones, and her smile was full of kindness. She was alright, but also the only person around. So Fable asked her for directions. No, Fable asked her about everything but directions. I asked her for directions. She was very helpful. She even gave us a gift. A gift? That's sweet. She gave us earplugs against the Banshee's song, so our bones wouldn't shatter. Very helpful. Wow. Did you offer to write her a jingle in return? I did. She said if we were to survive the encounter with the Banshee, I could come back and she'd think of what she'd need a jingle for. She was thinking about setting up a dragonfly exhibition, so maybe for that. Who would she even advertise to? Frogs? And toads. He's being sarcastic, ma'am. The Banshee was our first priority, so we stealthily made our way to the lonesome lagoon with earplugs in our ears. We mostly walked and talked about our favorite dragonflies. As we finally approached the lonesome lagoon, thick mist enveloped us. It suddenly became so cold we could see our own raggedy breaths. And then we heard it, a song filled with all the sorrow of the world, compressed into a single note. It sounded really nice. There was so much emotion in that song. Sadness, longing, yearning, anger. We wanted to be polite and wait until she was done singing, but she just kept going, like tears that wouldn't stop. So I decided to be a little rude, stepped forward and said hello. They said, "Hello, Banshee. I really like your song." That confused the Banshee so much that they stopped. She smiled, bearing a row of deadly sharp teeth. She was very nice, actually. She asked if we wanted to steal from her lagoon. When we said no, she invited us to sing along. Did you? Of course. It was kind of fun. It was. And I thought, what better time to bring up the Mary Morgan but now? So I lead with, I bet you do this with your girlfriend all the time, right? She suddenly looked at me with hatred and anger, and then just started screaming. I was very thankful for the earplugs at that moment. I think without them, my bones might have melted. That was our cue to leave, so I pulled Fable back into the thicket of the Borean forest. Obviously, we couldn't just leave at a failure, so we looked around for a peace offering. We found some spiky pink fruits with a pattern of little ghost tortoises on them. We thought she might like them. She liked them enough to stop screaming at us, and we sat down at the side of the lagoon to talk. It's beautiful, by the way. Right in the middle is a giant portal to the Twilight Chasm. It colors the water this deep dark blue with swirling clouds of darkness within. There were phones floating in the lagoon too. I almost brought one for your tavern. Why didn't you? I thought you wouldn't like it. I love bones. I'll keep that in mind for the future. The Banshee actually fished out some bones to fidget with. It stopped her from screaming every time she brought up the Mary Morgan, or Mama as she called her. Turns out the Mary Morgan had been ignoring all of her calls ever since the Banshee was crowned Gaia's scariest monster by screeching, "Magazine!" She told us it carved a hole in their relationship, that it caused a lot of jealousy, and she was disappointed the Mary Morgan cared more about some stupid popularity contest than her. We asked her if she wanted to talk about it with the Mary Morgan herself, but she said that she didn't need to apologize for being scary. She was very thankful she got to talk about it though. She was holding it all in because she didn't want to burden Baya with all the drama. She even offered for us to spend the night at her nearby cave, which was really nice of her. Did you end up taking a nap in her lair? We thought about it, but it was filled to the brim with riches of the dead, which was far too alluring to allow us to fall into the call of sleep. You wanted to steal it all, didn't you? You found loot? You have my attention. What did you find? Gold, bones, skulls, jewels of all sizes. And a loot. It was broken, but I picked it up anyway. There was also a delicate silver mirror that had hearts carved all over it. Kumo recognized it as magical from its arcane markings. Melina showed them to me in a book the other day. when the wizard in Zoford showed us around his library. It was a mirror of far speech. It lets you speak to anyone on this plane, given that you've seen them before. So you called Melly? No, we called the Mary Morgan. Ah, that makes more sense. How did it go? Well, I had to be the one to make the call since Kumo had never met her. When her face appeared, all I could do was stare in the horror as she gazed back at me. I felt like I was back in the Ashen Grove, leading adventurers to their doom, and I just froze. So I took the mirror out of their hands. Her first words were threats of what she would do to us if we dared to harm the Banshee. Of course we hadn't. That briefly calmed her down, until I asked her why she wasn't here, if she was so worried about the Banshee's well-being. Avoiding the question, she instead talked to us about the state of the lagoon. She complained that it must be incredibly loud with all the tourists and whatnot. I assured her that there were no tourists, at least none that were alive. So she asked what I was doing in the lair then. Honestly, I replied that the Banshee had offered us a place to stay in her cave. I quickly realized that I had picked the wrong thing to say. Her eyes started bleeding back ichor, and she began cursing us in tongues. The mirror cracked under her gaze and started bleeding black water. It was terrifying. And then we were just supposed to sleep there? As if she couldn't crawl out of the mirror any second. After that happened, I thought that we shouldn't discuss our further plans in that cave. So I pulled Fable outside and we went for a walk. The nymph had mentioned this enchanted flower field where she collects flowers for the fish. So we went there. Thought it might be a good spot. It was a good spot. Even though I couldn't stop shaking for a while, though the flowers really helped. As did not being alone. I'm glad I sent both of them then, huh? Was that when Kumo braided your hair? It was, yes. My hair kept falling in my face and was overwhelming me. So he sat me down and braided it away, while I worked on rebuilding the loot. He said that some distraction would help. Talking also really helped, even if I asked a lot of stupid questions. They weren't stupid, just curious. Did you have a favorite one? They also asked where I learned to braid hair. That actually brought us further on our quest. How so? Well, I learned it from my mother. It's the only thing I feel I have left of her. It was her way of apologizing. She was never very good with words. It made me think, sometimes people aren't very direct with what they mean. I have heard of that, yes. Like the Mary Morgan, she didn't seem angry about the Banshee outdoing her with some fear pageant. She didn't even mention it once. She only got upset when she thought we had hurt the Banshee, or when she thought we were tourists, or when we said we were staying in the cave. Like she was jealous of something entirely different from some issue of Screech Magazine. We talked it through and decided we had to get the two of them to talk face to face. Obviously it would be difficult because of the distance, but I had taken the mirror with me when we left. Thought it might be useful. Ever the thief? Indeed. I used it to call Baia. I asked her to tell the Mary Morgan to come to Boreas. Fable mentioned she can teleport via plants. However that works. She can. Should try it out. It's nauseating. I think we'll pass. While I went to talk to the Banshee, Kumo picked up the Mary Morgan. She and I really connected on eyeliner techniques. Okay. Fair enough, I suppose. When we arrived at the lagoon, they were immediately ready to claw at each other's throats. And not in a fun way. Okay. What was that about? Age rating? But somehow we managed to convince them to sit down. We tried to get them to talk about their feelings, but they just kept talking past and over and away from each other. arguing about an issue that didn't exist. So I had this crazy idea. I took out my lute and asked them if they wanted to write a song together. They declined and I insisted their voices would clash, but I thought at the very least it'd stop them from arguing. Kumo helped me convince them by summoning tiny rain clouds, pitter-pattering in a gentle melodic rhythm, to inspire them to give it a try. We asked them to put all of their emotions about the whole situation into a song. In the end, they harmonized together perfectly, like their voices were made for each other, and the gentle hum of my lute. It was beautiful. And a little bone-shattering, but very romantic. Most importantly, the song finally got them to understand each other. Like Kumo had suspected, the Mary Morgan was scared, not jealous, now that the Banshee was so popular. She feared the Banshee would become really busy with tourists visiting all the time. She assumed she wouldn't have time for her anymore. But the Banshee assured her she doesn't care about any of the tourists. So instead of talking about it, or even seeing if that would be the case, she's just like, she tried to protect herself, basically. You can't push me away if I push you away first, type deal. Only about the Mary Morgan and Baya, of course. We told them to talk to her too, and mentioned how much she'd been missing them. They agreed to meet for a tea party at the Ashen Grove so Baya doesn't have to travel too far. Did you invite them to your barbecue? No. After the outpouring of emotions, they wanted some time for themselves. The quest was done. It had also taken us 2 days, which was really efficient. Unfortunately, we had told the ship to pick us up in 3 days, so we were trapped on the island. So you swam back? What? No. What's wrong with you? The usual. We started brainstorming about what we could do while we waited, so I asked about the cheesecake recipe. But then I realized there wasn't anywhere to bake it. They don't have any taverns on Boreas. It was a stupid idea. It wasn't. Somewhere on the island had to be something to bake a cheesecake in. Did you find that something? We did, but it turned into its own small quest. First we had to find the right place for our little adventure. We met these lovely gnomes living in their little mushroom houses. And they offered to let us use their ovens, but they were too small, so they introduced us to a local toadhill giant. Its kitchen was enormous, but it's easier to work in than one that's too small. Then the gnomes, the nymph and the giant helped us gather ingredients from all across the island. So we were able to make enough cheesecake for everybody. I burnt mine a bit. But when we made a second batch for the ship's crew, they were already starting to turn out better. Kumo is a really good teacher. And you're a really good student. Thank you. The cake really lifted the crew's spirits on the journey back. We agreed to teach them the recipe once we hit land. Afterwards, they invited us to the captain's birthday party. They even introduced us to the traveling obelisk who sang us a song of the ancients. It showed us a shortcut through the Rylith's mountain range, where we met some flaming songbirds. And now you're here. And now we're here. I'm glad you came back. Of course we did. I promised a good story, and you delivered tenfold. Where are you two going next? I should probably talk to Melina. She was pretty mad when I left. I guess I should apologize while I still can. Good idea. Do you want me to come with you? No. I think I need to do this alone, or rather, with her. And I have to check in on Rufus too. Maybe Hex taught her some fun magic tricks in the meantime. You left her with Hex? And with Grace. Don't worry, nothing was set on fire. I should go. But before I go, Do you maybe want to do something together later today or tomorrow? Like a thing? Is he asking? Is he asking? Oh, is he asking Fable on a date? Oh my gosh, he has the feels. Oh, like hanging out together. We could play charades with the werewolves. Yeah, I think he meant as in a date. Did you? Maybe I did. Hakopolisa.exe has stopped working. That I made a sound only the dogs could hear. Oh. Oh, this is... Are you gonna answer? Okay, there we go. Okay, that sounds really fun. Cool. I'll pick you up. Or I'll see you around or whatever. I'll see you later. I'm looking forward to it. He's like, he's stumbling on his horse. This is so cute. Oh my goodness. Me too. He asked me on a date. He did. But... Oh, what? What do I do now? Do you think Archie has books on dating, or should I ask the Hydra for advice? It probably knows about dating, right? Archie is still on his quest. Also, I'm right here. You're right. What should I do? Just go see where it takes you. No one... Go. What do you mean, don't go? Who? I'm sorry, who would choose that as an answer? Are you kidding me? You have to be psychotic. Wherever he takes you, hopefully somewhere nice. I do feel safe with him, so maybe I should try trusting this more. Mostly, I think you should just be honest with him. He seems to like you for who you are, so there's no need to hide. Very true, very true. That's the scary thing. Why does he feel that way? Because you're very lovely? People keep saying that, but sometimes I just feel a lot lovelier hiding, you know? To me, it sounded like it's perhaps a bit too late for that. Sorry for listening in. You two were very sweet. It's okay. I also thought it was very sweet. He was very sweet. But now that he's gone, I have time to think again. And I'm not sure if it was supposed to be that type of sweet anymore. Maybe he was just being nice. He asked you on a date because he was just being nice. Well, maybe he felt bad for me or something. Girl, stop. Stop. Just stop. Innkeeper, dear, I think Fable might be in need of another drink. Maybe something to untangle her thoughts. Something for a quick escape from all of this overthinking. That sounds good. I'll see what I can do. Something for overthinking. I think we all need this. Where is her swift strike? Yeah. Her favorite. Does this help? Very much so, thank you. I feel like now I can uncurl the yarn ball that is in my brain. What do you think I should do? What do you want to do? I want to go on our date, and I want to get to know him better. Maybe even get him to know me better too. Do you think he would like that? I think so, yes. It seems like you don't need our answers. You have yours already. Sometimes I just feel like I need permission to listen to my heart. Did you know that you can give that permission to yourself? I forget that every time, but I know you're right. I think I know what to do now. Somewhat. But I'll figure out the rest. Thank you for listening to me. I think sometimes that's all I really need when I'm scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared, as long as you don't run from the things that make you happy. You're right. It took me a while to realize that running is so easy, you know? You always know where to go, away. But staying, you have to actually look at yourself, figure out what part is in everything. That you can be a lot. But when I was on the journey back from Boreas, dancing with Kumo to the music of the navigator's fiddle, thinking about how I would have never gotten to that point if I hadn't put myself out there, I realized that life is so much more than a constant game of hide and seek, from the things that truly mean something, and I decided to stop running from my life, even if I'm scared. I want to do my best to face my problems. Even though it's terrifying, I know that I'm not alone. Is this still about Kumo? No, he was never a problem. He's one of the reasons I'm not alone, just like you. With good friends by my side, I can do anything. Can't wait to see what you will do. It might not be as impressive as you hope, but it'll be me, and I'm excited about that. Me too. I'm really proud of you, Fable. Thank you for everything, especially the great advice. That was really a great advice. Maybe you should take some of it too, Grace. Maybe you should. Offensive. But we all conquer life at our own pace. My personal next Goliath is going to be reapplying my lip gloss. And maybe some blush. I do prefer a little pale. Can I borrow a mirror for a bit, innkeeper? Of course. There are some free rooms and mirrors upstairs, next to the acorn chimes. Just ignore the doors with the do not enter signs. You shouldn't have said that. Now I want to chat. Please don't. I won't. I'm polite. Or am I? Dun dun dun! Let's hope she won't find all the nightmare creatures you have locked up there. Let's. Have you ever visited the Twilight Chasm? Not for long enough to capture any creatures. I see. Oh. What are you thinking about, innkeeper? You know, innkeeper things. I don't. No, I mean, since I'm not an innkeeper at all. Right. That song you mentioned, the one you started writing on the ship. I know it's not done yet, but how about a little sneak peek? To see if it would make for a good jingle. I don't think it's jingle material, but I don't mind sharing it with you. Just keep in mind that it's a work in progress. Of course. There's a calling on the wind beneath the talk of the keep. I've heard the tales, set the sails. Now it's time for me to leave. That sounds like a great opener. So you like it? It's wonderful. Can't wait to hear more. Me too. But it's still a little rough around the edges. I feel like it's missing something. Maybe the next adventure. Maybe. Will you let me know when it's done? Of course. I can't wait to show you the finished version. Thank you, Fable. I'm proud of you. Or maybe finally finishing a song? For not running. Oh, thank you. Me too. Innkeeper, do you ever think about taking your own advice? All the time, yes. Why don't you? I don't know. It's hard, I know, but I promise I believe in you as much as you believe in me. And I know we'll both be okay. I would like that. Me too. Well, I've talked a lot today. I'll give you some space. Maybe it's time to stop running. Should I? Is it time to read that letter? Yes! Finally! Can you tell I'm excited? Oh, that was easy. I guess I've been waiting for a while. Let's hope for no regrets. My dearest friend, long has it been since we've talked last. Long has it been since everything has been seared away by the cold flames of death. I wish I could still remember our last conversation. but it's a waning memory. I can only imagine how you enjoyed running away, wishing to forget whatever was between us. Maybe you did for a brief moment. These 30 years? How is that brief? God damn. If you did, I'm writing this letter to kindly remind you of the good times. To celebrate our reunion, I invite you to the spectacle of the century, the last day of the astral moon, welcoming the first light of the dying moon, where the realm of Tuat is just a grasp away. Are there any spirits you'd like to remember? Are you afraid of what they might tell you? Worry not, I'll be there, watching the sky closely, on the 35th of Cassiopeia. See you soon, an old friend. Little flower thing? That was... I guess you've always been a fan of symbolism. But you didn't even leave an address. Very irresponsible. Oh my goodness, you look traumatized. Pardon? No time. Duck. Now. Duck? What's going on? Are you okay? Do you need help? Healing? Something is coming. Something big. Your next show? What? No. There's no time. Duck. Is the ground... We're underwater! There's water! There's water! Oh my goodness. Is everyone alright? I think so. Yes. How's she gonna make her date now? Come on, people! What? Phew. That was a close call. Could have been really dangerous. What just happened? Why is there water outside the tavern? I'd also like to know the answer to that question. I've got no clue. I was just outside by the woods drafting my newest song when the ground beneath my feet began to rumble. Not even a minute passed, and it rumbled again. Then, a wall of water came rushing towards me. I didn't even dare to wait. I ran immediately looking for shelter. No way I was gonna let my hagum get wet. These strings are made of a real Chabum silk, and the body's ethereal bamboo. It's a rarity. That's the first thing going through your mind with a giant wave rushing right at you? Of course. This instrument is as valuable as my hands. And just as versatile. Welcome back. Is everyone alright? Grace, dragons, you're alright. I was worried something had happened to you. Oh, don't worry. When the walls started rumbling, I hid under a table. Then I watched the water rush by the window. It was like a tsunami, but tsunamis are very rare, if not impossible, so far into the mainland. Right. It's so strange. Everything seemed to be submerged out there. I wonder what could have caused such a cataclysm. It's worrying to say the least. And it's definitely too dangerous to go outside. Even the tavern is leaking. Don't worry, it'll withstand. Are you sure? I'm sure. I've gotten through worse than this. I meant it's gotten through worse than this. Wouldn't have thought it could withstand this sort of thing. But even more glad it can. Seems so simple yet very sturdy tavern after all. Just like you, innkeeper. Are you flirting with the innkeeper? Yes, he is. Me? No. Also, that's beside the point. Is it? I mean, unless... I like to work my body. Helps in a lot of aspects. Can we get back to the point, please? Yeah, sure, the point. Right, back to the point. Did you see exactly what had happened? Not really. I was listening to the whistle of the wind in the treetops, jotting down notes for my next song, when suddenly a horde of silvercrest deer rushed past me. Before they could trample over me, I jumped onto a rock I was sitting on and watched them gallop downhill. Then I saw water break through the canopies, snapping trees in half like they were shell silks skewers. I wasted no second. I turned on heel, knowing I'd be done for if I waited a moment longer. Then I was here and told you to duck.
That sounds horrible.
Are you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, thanks. And anyways, with whom do I have the pleasure?
I'm Grace.
Nice to meet you, Grace. I'm,
Oh my, you're Voyage, aren't you? The silver-tongued virtuoso.
Yes, that would be me. Somebody actually knows who he is.
My apologies, I didn't mean to push any boundaries. But I saw you perform at Dropstone Institute's campus that one time. And I must say, you pulled on all my heartstrings with your beautiful performance.
Oh. I did that? What? Who, me? Oh.
Yes, I was awestruck by what your music could do. It was like magic of its very own way. Music can be very soothing in moments of distress. Were you distressed back then? A little. I don't remember exactly why anymore, but I remember the emotion. But not more distressed than I am right now. I hope Hex is safe and well. I'm sure he is. Shoot! Did you see that creature swim by?
I mean, the Among Us? What? Where?
It looked like a red-winged eel.
Oh, haven't seen one of those in ages.
Where's its natural habitat?
Actually, the Twilight Chasm. Why is it here?
Something isn't right.
I'm afraid you might be correct.
I'm also afraid, very much so. I don't think it's safe to go outside.
Of course not. You should all stay for the night.
Would that be possible?
Of course. The tavern will withstand this, and a bit of company wouldn't hurt.
I agree. Thank you, innkeeper.
Say, you with the lute, what's your name?
Fable. My name is Fable.
Do you play? The lute, I mean.
Sometimes. I'm still practicing, and not all that good with it yet.
How about we play together? A song or two to lift our spirits and wait out the catastrophe going on outside.
It's very untuned. It goes out of tune really quickly, but I guess that's a lute thing.
Ah, gotcha. Show it to me. I'll help you, and we'll jam until the new dawn rises. Okay.